JPI warning number 2. I think. Hey man, unconventional.
Number 2. I think.
Maybe. Anyway.
All right.
Aye. But so what's up, guys? Welcome. Are we? Let me ask you. I'd like. Are we? We're just sticking under. Let's be honest until we come up with a catchier name for the Ethereal.
Yeah.
Side, basically.
Pretty much. Because I don't know. I'm trying to. I literally I have plenty of hours of driving that I sit there and I just think, what's something catchy?
Only thing I thought of is Ethereal Cast, and I don't like it. Actually, as far as names go. But anyhow,
yeah.
Welcome, guys. So we are now going to talk about the one and only Ethereal. So we're actually going to split this up, right? We have some things to show you that are improvements, right? Like new things that are coming that are hype and such. And then, are you okay, man? Good. Look at him.
I'm just going to say we got to unzip it before we show you.
I can't with him, bro. He couldn't control himself. I look up and I see.
I did control myself. And then you called me out.
Bro, you controlled yourself like a 3-year-old that got caught, and he's like,
yeah, but I did control myself.
Oh, bro. Yes, bro.
Where you at?
What's up, guys?
Where you at? Shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to talk about this here with you guys, and I'm just gonna have one of the item arts up on the screen, right? So I want to talk about this. What is it called? Early or very? Is it like a closed alpha event? Like, what's the official name of the event where they're gonna start letting people into the game and playing? Like, what stage?
Pre-alpha access.
Pre-alpha access. Okay.
Yep.
And is that going to be like a continued until the next stage? Like people are just going to keep on playing, or is it a timed event? Do we know?
They have not announced that yet.
Yeah, they haven't said.
I think that announcement soon.
It's just going to be up whenever they can have it up.
Okay.
And then it'll go down for patches and shit.
Yep.
Do we have any indication that they may or may not meet that December deadline that they originally were aiming for?
From what I hear, they're good for it. Everything I keep hearing is that they're going to meet that December deadline, whether that's December 1st or December 31st. I don't know, but everything I keep hearing is that December's the time.
Well, watching watching the last End of the Ether, which was on Jelly Needs' YouTube channel. You and Mangoose and Jelly talked about it, and they were talking about how the stress test went and what things were, the positives and the negatives with it. The positive with it that I heard was that when it came to actual account servers and stuff like that, those servers were holding strong. It really, what it was something on the back end of the matchmaking, which is very similar to what Predecessor dealt with as well. But when people were actually in game playing, those servers were holding strong. So it literally, as long as they fix that matchmaking issue, it almost sounds like they really are in a good spot. So they just got to figure out what they would then. And also Jelly was saying that they pretty much saw what the problem was. They just weren't able to fix it in a timely manner. So that's why they shut the stress test down.
So I didn't even think about this, but you brought up an interesting point. The another competitor that had similar issues had to outsource that kind of work. Did Jelly give us kind of the indication?
Chose to.
It was either or. Right. So at one point, if you have to, you're making a forced choice. You feel me? So I guess technically my phrasing works, but you're not wrong. But yeah, you're right. A forced choice and an actual, and then you're just doing it to do it because you don't want your back end guy to spend all that time doing that. You want your back end guy working on something else. Let's just outsource it. Let's do this, whatever. There's something going on there. And plus they have the funding
like, with what's going on, they got the Epic grant, they got the people, backing them, whatever you want to call it. I can't do the word right now, but anyways, investors? They have that going. Yeah, investors. Thank you. They have all the investors that they talked about, so they have the money to really support that, right? The other groups right now don't have the information put out there. If they do or they don't, but it's not publicly known, like Predecessor is. So if did you choose to, or did you have to do that? Right now, if they had to do that, I think that says a lot about that Ethereal and their developers and what they're able to do.
Well, under the assumption that they can. Go ahead.
In Predecessor's defense, it's not just back-end matchmaking that they get with that partnership with Excelbyte. They get so much more.
Yeah. No, yeah, you broke that down in one of your videos really well. And it explained a lot to me that I didn't know. So no,
hashtag go watch that video from Mangoose.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not following Mangoose on YouTube, then you're wrong, and you should probably stop doing what you're doing right now. Go follow that and come right back here. So I think we're in a good spot still, just by I only listened to what Jelly was saying and how confident he felt with everything going on with that end of the ether. But so I'm excited. I mean, the game that I got to play in the stress test, everything felt great. It didn't really feel choppy to me or whatever. So I think they're in a good spot. I think the stress test, in my opinion, was really good in regards. It was good. It failed like Predecessors did, but Ethereal didn't set you up thinking you were going to go all weekend. They didn't schedule it for an all weekend. They let you know that, hey, if everything goes great, we can go all weekend. But they set you up with with the
expectation some shit might go wrong.
Exactly. They did a great job setting that up.
Molo brings up a very good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, they did announce it in Discord, and good on them, because Discord is my main source of information for a lot of things. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Facebook. I don't use any of that shit. So again, this is kind of me wearing blinders. I thought it was awesome that they at least announced it in Discord that the test was over and that they weren't going
in a timely manner too.
Going forward, yeah. I didn't even think about them not announcing it on Twitter and all that other shit, because they should have. They very much should have. And if they didn't, then that's on them. I didn't even think of that, again, because I only use Discord. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Facebook.
So the positive side of it, you're right. They announced it right on Discord. They came right to my stream and let me know they were having issues. This is before that. I actually quit my stream because I had something going on. So I quit my stream. Sent the Raiders over to somebody else and went that way. But while they were having issues, hey, we're having issues with matchmaking with teaming up, so don't go with teams right now, go solo. They came right to my stream, told me that. I know they went to other streams, said that. They were doing really good about it, and keeping people involved, or keeping people informed that were involved with the stress test and going on that way. But no, Molo is right. They definitely should have put it out, because I woke up 2 days later and went into Gen Chat, and somebody's asking, hey, is the stress test still going on or whatever? How, can I make my account or whatever? They're still inquiring about the stress test that they know about, but it's already it's been done. They already called pull the plug on it, and so if there was an announcement or something on the header, stress test done or something, some kind of announcement somewhere else.
Yeah, that would have been big. And, hindsight 2020. Learning experience. If they didn't realize that already, worth them actually, just kind of for future reference, make sure that announcement goes out everywhere.
I will say too that if you're volunteering to test the game, then you should probably be in their Discord, because Discord is the fastest way to get information. Yeah, and to share information with a majority of people. So Mola also talked about that. The downloader was a little borked. They put out an alternate way to download the game in Discord, but people just didn't pay attention to it.
Right.
And then,
or they try to do both.
To do both at the same time. Exactly. and fucked it all up because they fixed that downloader issue. They opened up more channels so that you could download easily, which after they did that, I used their downloader and it went really fast. But I still could have used the other method as well. But you had to be, if you're willing to test a game in a very pre-alpha state, then you have to be willing to make a few concessions yourself and get into like the Discord. Even if you don't have a Discord, make a fucking Discord so that you can track shit that's going on at the time.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys, because I know last week we talked about more so like how it went and stuff like that, right? Like I know, like for example, Stunt had a great time doing that shit too. I remember hearing him talk about it. Did you guys see anything that is like overwhelmingly like, hey, you guys need to work on this before that event? Did any of that pop up?
So when you're saying event, you're talking about the Extra Life event, right?
Extra Life, yeah. During Extra Life.
Okay.
Was there anything like overwhelmingly obvious that they need to work on, improve, change? I'm not talking about like little stuff like, oh, like the way basic attacks feel, right? That's something that they can slowly tune in. Like, was there something that's like, yo, this needs to be fixed ASAP? Anything like that popped out?
From the Extra Life event, I mean, nothing really. I mean, it really, to me, the game is there. It's just a lot of quality of life and optimization, in my opinion. Like that's really, in my opinion. But I'm not like that, huge. Like I know all about MOBAs, and this is what you need here. So like, there's more people out there that can give you a better critique in that situation. But like for me, as a casual player that enjoys playing a MOBA, like the actual core game is feeling great. There's some quality of life that changes that need to get fixed. For example, like it's not going to be the greatest look, but like when we were playing the stress test, it wasn't there in the Extra Life event. You didn't get to see it, Windu, but like me and did see it. They put these little X's on the rocks for the berserkers, right? It literally is like it looks somebody like took a white paintbrush and painted a white X.
Like an indicator, hey, you can touch this.
X marks the spot. You can break this rock, So just kind of let you know, like, so, but that can't be, you don't want that to be your indicator that this is something that's able to be broken. All these different X's around your map, like this is, you don't want that, right? So that's something that's going to have to change eventually, right?
That but I mean, it already.
May or may not have. Hint.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away their.
Did you already though?
Information that other people already paid for, but so that may have changed already.
So it may or may not have changed already, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, but if it did change, that's just how quickly they are working on it. I'm just saying that's something it was something they did for us.
They were confirmed. Jelly just wrote it changed already.
I wasn't.
All right, you're in the clear, Goose. You're in the clear.
Well, I'm also a Patreon. I knew it changed, but like I was just trying to use it as an example. But anyways, now that it's already changed, that's what I'm saying. They've already on top of stuff like that, right? So there's a bunch of quality of life changes, things that like we talked about last episode was the tower health and the minions on it. And where they put it, it literally is like it's you don't have to look up. It literally is right on your screen. It's like right above your head or whatever. It's like, it's perfect. It's in a good spot. Yeah. And it doesn't matter where you move. It stays there. Like it's a good spot. I like it. Great job. The huge quality of life change from the Extra Life event to the stress test. But yeah, I can't think of anything huge that I think needs to change except Dante's ult. Dante's ult's the worst thing on that game that needs to get fixed.
Really?
It just doesn't like it literally is. It's so hard to hit. There's no actual visual indicator except for a health bar. Like that's all you see is a health bar. And then there's times there was in the Extra Life event, me and Goose were dual lane. He is right up on the tower, not in the tower because he would have got hit by a tower, but he's right up on the tower. He's got visual. He can see both dual laners, opposing dual laners. I'm getting down to snipe the ADC that's low health, I have no health bars, no indicators, and nothing in front of me. I can't.
Oh, like shared health sort of vibes.
Yeah. There's no like I have like Windu B, Mangoose B, my spotter. I have no like, hey, he's got vision on him. I can see. There was nothing. And
Interesting.
So I literally lost vision. So I sniped, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just literally. What did you say it was, Mangoose? About something about trying to piss at a fly in the dark or whatever.
Yeah, pissing on a fly in the dark.
Yeah, trying to piss on the fly. That's literally what you're doing. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna pull the trigger and hope I hit. Like that's what it feels like right now. There's no, and then when you do hit, you don't get that like, oh, that was satisfying. The sound and the actual shot is great, but the visual and how everything works with it, that's something that needs to get worked on. I gave a lot of indications of what to Skifter about like kind of like how I felt like a snipe is, like you got like literally you follow snipers in the military, they're right next to him as a spotter. Hey, you're giving them visuals like, hey, this is where you're at, this is where you want to go, this is where you want to be. Like you got to have that visual indicator. And right now it's, if you're going across map, you got a health bar and you're just like, okay, I'm trying to aim here. It just makes it harder, and it's not the easiest thing to shoot.
Better outlines for the snipe. Yeah. I think just in general, the game needs some polish. Like some of the abilities feel really wonky to try and land. Aron's grab, like sometimes it feels like you can grab them from much further away than other times. Sometimes it feels like you have to be right on top of them. I think that's stuff that will come in time, but it definitely needs to be polished out, I think, before they go mass release.
You mean like by the aiming for December sort of early alpha access, or
if not by then at least by their next phase? Because I think the people that are coming into the pre-alpha in December, I think they're going to actually be a lot more accepting of any flaws with the game. But the game right now feels not as bad as Predecessor's initial alpha, but it's close as far as like lag and shit like that.
Okay, as far as overall game sense, game feel, like when you're in there, it doesn't feel like 100% connected as is. Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely some optimization that needs to be done as well. I mean, I run a 2070 Super GPU on my computer, right? I have a one rig system, and if you look at the FPS that you're running, for the game, whatever, I'm sticking around like 40s, 50s, and I can run Fault on 60 FPS, no problem. Like if anything, I should have no issues running at a 60 FPS situation with my rig that I got. I don't have the best rig, but I should still be able to be okay with the 60 FPS. So there's definitely some optimization that needs to be done with everything going on. But it's like I said, the game, I think the core game is there. There's just some quality of life, some optimization, some smoothness. I'm excited to see to be a part of this at this early stage as it is, right? I was able to play with the extra life. I was able to participate in the stress test, and then we're going to go into pre-alpha. I'll be set up for that as well. Like, I'm excited to see where we're at now, and then that change when they put the mocap suit animations in there. I want to see the difference it makes. Like I was talking to some people in Gen Chat, and they, it's going to be a huge difference, and I get that. I'm not saying it's not going to be a huge difference. I'm not going to say I'm not going to notice it, but I want to see that night and day, that I want to be like, oh my gosh, you guys should have been here for the freaking Extra Life event, in 2021. That shit was insane. Like, this is amazing. I want to be here for that. I can't wait to see that change.
I think the one big takeaway from the game too, the most important part, people seem to lose sight of this. They can't see the forest for the trees. The most important part of any game is it's fun. If it's fun, and
that's the biggest part.
More fun playing Ethereal than I have playing Predecessor, Fault, Overprime, any of these other games. I've had way more fun playing Ethereal, even in its sort of janky half-ass state. it was still way more fun.
That says a lot. Because you're not wrong. Like, that's huge. What are you saying?
Yeah. I'm actually kind of right there as well, but I don't know. I mean, I only play Fault right now as it is, right? But I don't know if that's because of where Fault's at with their stage and the staleness of 13, because 13's gotten pretty stale. We're waiting on 14, right? So, but with that going on, like I can't, like if Ethereal was open right now, like I would be playing Ethereal over Fault. Like if I literally was like, hey, you guys want to play a game? Like I'm like, hey, can we play Ethereal? That's the one I want to play. But it's also new to me too, though, you know. So I guess like maybe that's the reason why. Like there's a couple things that could be added to it, you know, the staleness of 14 or 13, the newness of Ethereal, a couple things are going on with it. You know, I haven't been playing. I've been grinding Fault since early release, you know, like so. There, I think there's also I haven't had a chance to grind Ethereal that way, but right now it's still fun. Like I really enjoy it. And with its rough edges, I want to play the shit out of it right now.
You know, that's actually super interesting, because the whole perspective thing. Because yeah, like I'm to the point where I'm so bored with some games. TFT is ecstatic. You feel me? Like the traditional strategy game that I just kind of do to chill is exciting, right? Because of how boring some of the other games I've gotten. Because of X, Y, and Z. So I'm actually very curious to hear how you guys are going to feel about the Ethereal gameplay as time progresses, as there's, you know, more active competitors. Because you said basically outside of Fault, you really don't play any other games. You don't even play Call of Duty or anything like that, right?
Well, I got rid of Call of Duty because one, it had so much, it literally took up a whole hard drive of mine. And two, I was having issues with playing it. So I literally just got rid of it because I didn't play. I played with it like maybe twice, you know, in 3 months. But yeah, so no, I don't. Yeah, Fault is the only game I play, but that's only because it's the only active third person MOBA there is. You know, as soon as Overprime becomes active, as soon as Predecessor becomes active, as soon as Ethereal becomes active, then I will be bouncing back and forth between all of those, because that is the genre that I really enjoy playing. You know, I have a couple friends that I'm in a Discord with that they still play Genesis, and just them talking about it kind of made me think, man, it kind of would be cool to download Genesis and use Amber again. Like,
I thought they shut it down. That game's still going?
No, it's still going. Still go. I was very
thought
surprised.
It was done.
I was asking. It is done. Like they're only doing like very minimal updates when the updates they do. Like they're not doing like any balancing really updates. Like they still have.
So they're it's one of those we're gonna keep it alive to milk it sort of scenario. That's what it sounds like.
Yes. Why not play Smite? Because I'm not like you, Empty. Come on.
No, Smite is a contender though, especially with all those IPs and everything that they've gotten.
It's literally an aesthetic thing for me. I was just kidding with Empty. It's aesthetically, it doesn't pull me in. I don't know. I look at it, and ironically, I don't play Smite, which is a high res game, right? But I'll play the shit.
You love Paladins,
and I know. I'll also play a Realm Royale, you know, which is literally the exact same game. It's like aesthetically, it's like not the exact same game, but aesthetically, it's the same artist, you know, doing all that stuff. But I just don't. When it comes to being a MOBA, I tried it. That's the thing, is I've never given it the honest try, because I've never played Conquest, which is the actual 3-lane MOBA. I've only done Joust and Arena. Are the only two that I've played.
Oh, really?
So I need to give it the actual college try and play the Conquest.
There's really nothing wrong with Smite. It's a good game in and of itself. Like I talk shit about it all the time, but to be funny. But yeah, it's not bad. We should get in there sometime. You can ADC. I'll play Sylvanus.
Oh, I'm down to play in there with y'all. If they have Transformers now, that's so ironic.
Do they have Unicron? That's all. If they don't have Unicron, dude, I want nothing to do with it.
Who is Unicron in Smite?
Jormungandr, maybe. He's just a horn moving through the fucking map. But let me ask you guys about these this item art here because we got a couple things to share.
Yes.
Right.
Debs gave us some little shit. We got exclusive content you can see right here for the first time.
Yes. I want to focus on these 4 items first before we actually, go into it.
My name is Bearded Wolverine, and I'm an ADC, right? And red almost in every game is an ADC. That fucking claw thing looks just like Wolverine. Like that's set up. That's made for me. Okay. Tell me that's not. All right. Now it's called Bloody Claw. What it needs to be called is Bearded Claw. Okay. That's what it needs because it needs to reference me. That is my claw.
Can you call it Bloody Claw if there's no blood on the claws?
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be Bearded Claw. It literally just needs to be reference me.
Yeah. No, not at all. Jelly said that's
Pretty sure ADCs wanted to take the hat though. It's not mistaken.
Right. This Robin Hood sort of vibes because with all the bows they got.
These are all starter items, by the way. These are all starter items. Ring of protection.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm not even showing Ring of Protection right now. We'll show it here in a moment, right?
Yeah, Ring is not up here. So
okay, starter items.
Bloody Claw. What are we? What is that one? Yeah, hat. I do take hat. What is? I still think
one looks like cooldown. One looks it's got a 4-leaf clover, a lucky coin, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just a random percentage of gold off of last hitting. You feel me? Like you last hit a minion. Let's say now it gives you an extra 10% because you got the lucky random chance. Who knows, right? The red just looks like a lifesteal item. I really don't think it should be called Bloody Claw personally, but yeah. Can I just say the quality of these is actually pretty fucking amazing.
They've always had insane quality for their item art.
Mm-hmm. These look dope as shit.
Yeah.
Like, feel me? Whether it's green fire and a green glow coming up from behind the coin or the hat with the yellow fog behind it. Just very, very well done art.
It's very clear what color they're supposed to be tied to.
Oh, Jelly just said in the chat, Epic Hat and Lucky Coin are supposed to be ADC starters.
Yeah.
But they could take Bloody if they wanted as well. Bloody gives you 1 physical power for every 5% missing health, capped at 75% missing health. Okay, so you get weak. As you get weaker, you get stronger. That sounds like a cool item to combine with lifesteal.
Seems like a good jungle item too.
I can see that. The more you're getting melted by the camp, the faster you clear the camp.
Yeah. Which one is that? That's the lucky coin?
The damage one is the Bloody Claw.
Right, but is that the one you were reading? Is that the one you gave to us?
Okay. Yeah, Bloody Claw.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I gotta give them praise for the artwork because this artwork just fucking looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm very curious as to the direction that they're going to go with all this artwork, right? Because, for example, right now, carries have this very bow-like mechanic, right? Or bow-like items seem to favor carries, even though that's not necessarily what you have to stick to. Are they going to stick to the whole guns and bows are carries, staffs, and like books and shit like that are mages? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that was the plan all along.
I mean, I build in my build so far, and it does pretty well, is I do 2 bows, I do a gun, and then there's an axe that I throw in there. And I'd have to go back and look and see what else we got. But like, what else do I throw in? I got my boots that I put in there. Oh, then I do a Sith, right? Scythe. Yeah. Sorry, I got Windu here with me. I was thinking.
Yeah, with you, bro. He said Unicron. Yeah, I get it. My mind went there too. I can't with y'all, bro.
I do a scythe, or then sometimes I'll throw in a sword as well. Like I kind of like. There's a lot of there is crazy amount of build diversity with all these items and how they have it set up. Like you could literally go strict bow, you know, like you just build a whole bow setup. You could build a whole gun setup. You could build, you know, an axe setup if you wanted to. But you know, like I kind of put a bit of everyone in there. You know, like a diverse build there. I like it.
Well, the thing with Ethereal is, both with their items and with their myths, is that if they have something, it should be used. Like if they have a shield, they're going to use that shield. If they have the wings, they're going to use those wings to fly. It's kind of the same way with the items. Bows are almost certainly intended for ADCs. Rifles are almost certainly intended for ADCs. Staves, whatever you want to call them, are most certainly intended for mages.
We'll say staves. Sorry.
It is staves. But
whoa, okay, no, continue. Sorry.
I thought it's staves. But yeah, that's kind of the feeling that you're supposed to get from the game. So
I mean, I get it. It's not a bad thing to stick with those. I guess you could call them norms because they're pretty much established, right? You're trying to create the least amount of friction with somebody actually getting into the game, getting used to shit. Like if they're building a tank, I see a chest plate. Probably something I'm going to want to look at. You get me? So
I see a shield. Right. Might want to take a shield. Yeah,
exactly. So that makes total sense, right?
Right. That's what Jelly says. It really depends on the stats you want, because each item type is based around a stat or two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like bows are like attack speed pretty much, you know, the guns are like crit damage, you know, and then axes are power, you know?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
In most games, an axe, axe or sword usually signifies like pen of the sorts.
Right.
Or just power, yeah.
So, yeah. Now these other items that you got pulled up here, I want to talk about the growing moss one or regrowing moss. Like when I looked at it, I'm like, that's not what I think of moss, right? But you look at it, like you see that shield, and it's like that. There's like, I don't know. I think it's a good concept at first. As I read it, I'm like, oh, actually, at first I'm like, wait, and then I'm like, I see it. I'm like, I see the moss growing on the shield, you know. And it's like it's been here for a while. It's a tank. Like it takes a while to get rid of a tank, you know. I like the idea behind it. They did a great job.
So, I think it looks dope, actually.
Yeah.
I will say, looking at it, the first thing I thought about was not regrowing moss, because the name indicates healing, right? Like regen. As Jelly just put in the chat here, he said it healed 10 to 40 based on your missing health, capped at 75% missing health over 5 seconds after taking damage from an enemy myth. Additionally, when you're above 75%, get 5% persistence, deal 5 bonus damage to minions. So it's definitely a regen item, right? It's a shield, so I'm assuming it's going to include some armor as well. Like at least, you know, kind of putting those two things together. But I definitely wouldn't have looked at this and thought, yeah, this is regrowing moss. I thought it was just going to be a mossy shield or like a rusted shield or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right. No, and I don't think that it's going to give you armor. I think that it's telling you this is a healing item for a tank.
Well, but take the name out. Does it still tell you that?
Well, regrowing, yes.
No. Take the name out. Look at a shield with some moss on it.
It says green. Green means tank. Yes.
Yeah, green indicates health. Shield indicates tank. It looks like a healthy tank item to me.
Yep.
I just realized this is technically a blue item based off of the cloud in the back.
Yeah, which I was just thinking that is off-putting. I don't like that.
It's almost clashing, right?
Well, it makes you think that it's for mages somewhat. I would rather a green glow in the background for this.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is matching the same green glow that's for the unending, right? Unending chalice.
Yeah.
It has the same like color,
Oh,
and the
same blue.
chalice. You were going to think that is like a mage, you know, like something like elixir that they made. You know,
But like this lucky coin that that Jelly mentioned is going to be a starter item for carries. I want that green behind the shield. Like that would make me think this is health related, sustain related.
Agreed.
Even though that green looks fire with that 4-leaf clover, but that's besides the point.
right. So, but the difference is that green, that 4-leaf clover has that gold coin contrasting that green background. Now, if you have a green shield with a green background, how do you separate those two?
I don't think it needs to be. I think they're putting form over function when they need to be putting function over form. I think
I agree with you.
I just the player that this is a health item, so that glowing background needs to be green.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It needs to be green. I just think that there needs to be a way for you to decipher between the actual item and the back
and the cloud. Well, we could use that green coin as a great example, though. True. Wait, we could use that green coin as an example. We have rays of light, we have fog and fire all in one item. Like, and all of these, like, you feel me? Like the fire is brighter than the rays of light, for example. They could apply contrast within the background. This is literally just a blue cloud. They easily could just put like a green cloud and then add some rays of light or fire like they did for contrast or whatever, to where the original item still kind of sticks out. You feel me? Change the actual hue of the moss even, because we see on the far right where the sun's hitting it, it's brighter, but on the bottom left, it's darker. And they could mess with the colors around to provide their own contrast. It's not impossible, you feel me?
Oh, I'm not saying it is at all. I just think that's something that needs to be. I'm just wondering if that's why they went with the blue, and maybe they just didn't put a little more foresight into it. Like that's something that needs to be. I agree with you. It needs to be green. It should be green from what I'm seeing.
Well, Jelly also mentioned in the chat it is a health and CC reduction. So maybe that is an item that a mage might grab for CC reduction and health regen, which actually sounds kind of broken on a mage. Now that I think about it,
this is an offlaner item all the way.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit on the weirder side of that one. What do you guys think about that ring? That ring looks dope as shit.
Yeah,
and that one's not a starter item. That's a tier 3 item.
Full blown items. Now,
yeah, that ring.
And I don't want to be that guy, but fucking compare this item art to Fault or Predecessor's item art.
Hell, compare it to Smite. You feel me? Like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
anybody.
Like the art itself is dope as shit. Even though I see a ring that's red that indicates damage to me, but then I see bullets bouncing off of it and ricocheting. So the picture kind of tells me it's like a tanky ring. Am I the only one tripping on that one?
I mean, no, it definitely gives you the, especially the name of it, Ring of Protection. It tells you it's an armor. But the red definitely makes you feel like it's going to give you, it's going to be
some sort of power or something.
Yep. I do enjoy the art to it. And back to what you're saying, I think the art, Fault and Ethereal's art are hand over fist better than the other art. I guess I can't say. I don't know Overprime's art. I would have had to see Overprime's item art. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I don't like Predecessor's art. Predecessor's items art. It literally reminds me of something I would have played on a PS2. It's lacking in my opinion. Smite, the little bit I have seen of it, kind of reminds me of the same thing as Predecessor. Like there's nothing to it. Like
it's a very targeted style for sure. Now we just got a message in the chat. Skifter, shout out to Skifter, by the way. What up, homie?
Skifter.
He's saying this item is magic power, pen, and armor. But it's red.
None of that. What I'm looking at says.
Yeah, bro.
Armor to me.
Like the ring with magic
maybe?
power, maybe I can see that, right? The red doesn't show that. I see armor with the bullets. Okay, I can see that connection. I'm getting pen from a ring, bro. Yo, every kiss begins with K. Holy shit, bro. Are you getting pen out of a ring?
You go kiss these. Go kiss these knuckles.
I can't with you, bro. Yeah, I don't necessarily. He says all rings are magic power and pen. I mean, I can see, like, especially based off of other games like Smite does it, etc., where rings are magic-based items that all give you some sort of magic-based effect, right? But so let me ask the devs, since they are here, right?
Hold on. Jelly says, I think Fault has you guys too caught up with the color. The ring is what signifies what stat it has. Well, I think the color, though, is what helps the player understand what they're going for.
Yeah, like in every MOBA, we can arguably mention, it's not just the item that you pick, but if you see a color associated with that item, sometimes it easily tells you what type of item that's going to be. Like if I see a red ring, I would assume this is maybe an item that converts energy power into my physical damage, into basic attacks. Because, like, for example, Smite has rings like that also. I would expect, like, I would say you got to be very, very careful with pairing it with a background color like that. Like, for example, the lucky coin in the green, if that doesn't have to do with health, I don't know if that's something that should be done, because it might get players even more confused. Like the blue orb inside of the chalice with the light blue mist behind it, that looks dope as shit, right? I think a player looks at this, they very clearly know what type of character they need to put that on without actually reading it. If I show a player this, when you're showing me a ring with bullets bouncing off of it and some red fog with red streaks everywhere, I'm assuming those streaks are from the bullets. I could be wrong. If you guys saw this based off of only the art, who would you play it on? What type of character would you put that on?
I would put it on an ADC or a jungler.
I can see that.
Yeah, like a brawler style is what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I got you. I agree with you. I would do an ADC or like if I was playing, we're sticking with the Fault situation, right? If I was on Boris, I think this would be great on Boris. You know, it's going to give me something. It's going to give me some armor, but it's also going to give me some attack to it.
I definitely could see a jungler killing it.
Basic thing. Like I watched Day9 talk about this a bit. Like people equate green with health. They equate blue with mana. They equate red with damage. It's just,
and then the rest of the colors, you can go ham and do your own thing. But those are pretty standard, for sure. Like the fact that damage numbers usually come up red too. You feel me?
Felix in chat says it's a common MOBA design principle to help players, and that's what I was saying, right? And then it says the art is sick though. Agrees.
Yeah, I just think those colors definitely give off a vibe, right? So let me ask you on this one, and is it me or is that is this red chest plate the Harvey's backplate chest card? Is that one just
like, yeah?
Is that one just like lower res than the rest? Am I wrong on that one?
I don't think he gave me the Harvey's.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Where did I get that from?
I don't know. You crazy asshole.
That shit was literally in the fall. Next. Anyway.
Harvey's isn't new. All right.
So there you go. Okay, no, but anyway, let's use that one as an example. Yeah, let's use that one as an example. If it's not new, even better. When you guys see this item, first of all, what do you think it does? Second of all, who would you put it on just based off of looks? You're a new player.
Tell us.
It's going to be, it's a brawler tank item. It literally is. I'm going to put it on somebody that I want to either jungle tank with, or I'm going to solo lane tank with, and it's going to do damage.
And you're saying based off of the red of it, combined the fact that it's a chest plate, right?
And the spikes on the motherfucker, like that, literally,
And-
like, yeah. You don't. If you
Got
want to
you.
jump on me, you're landing on these bitches.
Now, what does the yellow behind it mean to you when you look at it?
Yellow to me, for I don't know. It just first thing that came to mind was armor.
See, I thought movement speed. Looking at yellow,
Really? Okay.
I thought this was either going to have some sort of attack speed, some sort of movement speed, just basically looking off of it. And that's just a general point that I'm trying to get to, right? Like a lot of these items per se are going to be, they're going to be looked at a glance at first. You follow? Like at first you're going to look at them and be like, okay, so I'm Dante. What do I build? I'm going to start looking for guns. I'm going to start looking for swords. The bow is going to catch my eye. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a certain thing that's going to draw you in. But whenever you color code them and put the stuff behind them, it might deter you. Like if you look at the shield and then see it's blue, I'm like, I'm not looking for like any mana or any energy power. I'm looking for just straight. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it might add another thing in there. But let me do this actually. Let's keep talking here. Now y'all got me confused. I'm like, okay, so what do we have in here? Let's show the void lane. Because y'all got me messed up with these. What do y'all think about this picture?
I mean, you show the new ones, but there's a new bridge, is what I'm seeing.
That's old as fuck.
Is it old as fuck? Where's that bridge at?
There's a couple of overpasses like that already in the game.
Yeah, that image is old as fuck. You need to bring up the new shit.
Bro, what the hell? Look,
What do you mean?
That image is like from when the lanes were stacked on top of each other.
homie, I literally just
No,
opened.
it's not.
Joey said no, it's not.
Yeah,
This is lying. Right. Yeah. This is, yeah. I was like, what?
This-
old as
this-
fuck to me.
bro, this is what he sent me. That's what I'm saying. Yo, I got the latest one. I promise.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't remember that. Where's that at? Where is that bridge at?
Well, based
The
off of
bridge I
that,
know of
right
is the trunk. No. I'm saying like in the, like, I don't like, that's
So,
something I don't recognize.
I
know
think-
the trunk, the little trunk bridge you can go on,
Mhm.
but I don't know if this thing with the little pillars that like stand side by side. Where's that at?
well, here's the thing. I think this is new, and I really think,
the tree trunk.
yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, I think it replaces a trunk because it looks like the exact same area. Because I'll be honest, the trunk,
And that's
I literally jumped on top of the trunk before I realized I could go through it. Like it took me like a good second to realize that shit was hollow. And I could walk through. Okay, bet. I'm already up here though. Fuck it.
I mean, I'm okay with this too, but I like the truck. I thought the truck was cool when I was running around with the Extra Life event. It goes right to a jungle camp. You can look down. You can like actually like sneak attack somebody that's trying to take that jungle camp. I mean, you're having a hard time with that Little Caesar's pizza, but anyways.
They can't see that though. Leave me alone. Oh man.
But I mean, the shadow. I mean, let's look at the lighting on this. Right, we got great lighting. The shadows makes it a little dark. You know, the greenery is there. Like, I'm excited. I thought their map was already good, but they're just gonna make improvements. As they go.
You know what makes me curious? Is this what it's gonna look like playable?
What do you mean?
Because you know how there could be a difference between, like, we see a picture, but when you actually go in, it's been turned down a little bit due to performance or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what we're aiming for. This is where it's at, but due to performance, we got to tone it down until we optimize. Like a good example of that would be the character models. We've seen the high res pictures and amazing character models and stuff, but whenever you go into the game, they're not as high res as they could be because they're working towards it.
I'll tell you right now, like I got in and shit didn't look as good as I thought it should look. So I messed with my settings, messed with my screen resolution. It's like not optimized on their end right now. So you got to mess with your own settings a little bit. But at the end of the day, it came out looking really good. Like the way I caught onto it is when we were testing, I was watching other people's streams. I was like, holy shit, that guy's game looks 1,000 times better than mine. But I'm on Epic too. Why does his game look better than mine? So I had to go.
You saw it on me and Fumo's stream. You were watching both of ours. You're like, wait a minute. How is yours looking so good? I'm like, I don't know. I'm running on this setting. Like, this is where I'm at.
I did a little bit. I found out I was on like 1270 by whatever the settings are. I wasn't on 1920 by 1080.
Okay, so you think like by preset it picks something lower, maybe even? Yeah.
And then once I actually got it to 1920 by 1080, it looked significantly better.
Yeah, and like mine set for my 2560, like it already went to where I needed to be, so it was already fit for my resolution. So when he saw mine, he's like, wait a minute, why is it looking so good? So
Jelly says that this image is in 4K. If you were playing on 4K with all settings max, you'd be looking at something very, very similar to this. Okay. I want to see somebody play this game in 4K with all settings max. I want to see it. Like, who do we know with the beefiest fucking PC that we can find and be like, hey man, I got a job for you, bro, and just have him.
It looks very, very similar to a very old map image, very old map video that I used to do. I know because I use that as the background for the minions for fucking ever. But like if there was a river here instead of just dry ground, it would look exactly like it, which is kind of interesting because this is a completely redesigned map from when I was doing those videos.
Right.
How about this next picture? I'm already on my way, sir. Sir, you calm your horses.
So first thing I see here is in the foreground that the little building or whatever you have there that I think that looks amazing in the
isn't it in the background?
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Foreground, front.
He said foreground. I started looking at the blue fucking flower in the front. I said that's like the building.
Completely my fault. Yeah, in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that arc. What do you want to call it? I don't know if it's a building or whatever it is. Like it's.
Just call it the core.
The look of it.
Right.
So. Yeah, you could call it that. I mean, that's if we're looking straight down a lane, or if we're looking sideways down a lane. I don't know, but yeah, I really like it. It's nice, and the way it looks, you can tell there's a centerpiece to it. The flowers are great looking.
Yeah, foliage looks cool for sure.
They do need to change those towers though, and we've talked about this before in the Extra Life event. Like that tower, there's a tower in this picture.
Yeah, there's 3,
but you literally have to focus to see that tower.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, there's 3 of them in the picture. Do you guys think they should keep towers red and blue? Because I find it interesting that as far as items go, they're saying colors don't, they don't have to stick to traditional colors. But then as far as tower colors go, they stick with red and blue.
I don't care about the colors. You could make them, magenta and fucking turquoise. I don't care. But like, it just needs to be something that stands out from the scene. Like it literally needs to be something like, hey, this is your objective to take care of. Take care of it now.
Yeah. I really don't know. Like, I remember giving them my feedback as to little things that should change and whatnot, but there really isn't much that they can do besides changing the texture of the tower itself and then changing the size of it. You get me?
Give it a little bit of a glow.
Well, I mean, we can see on the red ones, at least, the red ones seem to have a decent glow to it. Like, I was able to spot those red ones in the distance, but this blue one almost blended in right in the front.
You can also put it right in the center of the lane too and make it stand out. Like literally you have it embedded up against the rock. Like every one of them is off against the rock and they're just, I
think that's a good point. Design though. I think that's
it could be. I'm just saying that's one thing you can do to make something stand out. Like it literally is this metal structure standing here by itself, or rock structure standing here by itself. It's not like look like it's stuck to, hey, I'm part of the rocks. Nope, I'm attacking you. Like, well, fuck, that's not a part of the rocks. You stealthy some bitch.
How would you feel about a more pronounced tower platform, like a lot of MOBAs use? Like, hey, this tower area is very, very well defined because the only thing that exists inside of this circle is the floor and the tower, nothing else.
You could do that as well.
And then once you're out of the tower, return to the immersive world.
I see what you're getting at, instead of just grass and ground and
right.
Yeah, and like a floating ring and stuff like that. Like, imagine if, for example, there was already like this plating of a floor here, could be rusted or whatever, you know, like you could still keep with the theme, or it could be made out of rock.
It could be stone. Yeah, rock.
Yeah. But if you know that as soon as you are inside of one of these circles, this is the tower zone. There is a tower right in front of me, because even though I can't see the tower from around the corner, I can see the floor from around the corner, just like the corner of that tower. And I know that there's a tower there. Because right now you could be walking.
Good solution, yeah.
Yeah, because right now you're walking down a path. Let's use Ice Lane, for example. Unless you specifically look for the glowing ring, or unless you specifically notice, hey, I'm in tower range, somebody could easily walk straight in a straight line and get out of nowhere, get that one tower shot and be like, oh shit, there's a tower still here. So, I mean, that's how other MOBAs have solved it. Like, they're like, hey, we're not going to complicate shit. We like the design of our towers. They don't make it glow more. They don't make it stand out more. They're just like, hey, it's all a contrast thing. The tower's always going to stand out if the area around it is bare. If it's just basic. Imagine the tower, like you said, in rocks, to where even the surrounding wall behind it, no foliage on it. It's almost like the tower kills the foliage. That'd be a pretty cool feature. Imagine, as long as the tower is standing, the foliage in that area is dead. Just like straight decrepit, just straight black and burnt and shit or whatever, you know, or ice, or, you know, throw a different flair into it. And then as soon as that tower gets destroyed, now it's green. The area is green because the tower got destroyed. You brought part of the world back to life. Just a cool little thing. That's not probably complicated as fuck to implement, quite frankly.
Right. I mean, I'm okay with the offsetting towers, like up against the wall, or whatever. Like, as long as you give you something just to separate, to let you know this is the tower. You know, I want to be able to look at this picture and not have to focus to really like, okay, there is towers in this picture. You know, by a trained eye, we know there's towers, but like somebody, you just send this picture to somebody, they're like, okay, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, what it was, is that the jungle? You know?
Yeah.
They're not going to know that's an actual lane.
Well, another thing too, you just brought up a great point. There isn't too much distinction between jungle paths and a lane path. Like, changing up that terrain instead of just like normal dirt, I don't know, go for like a lighter colored dirt, like a tannish colored dirt or something like that, you know, just to kind of provide that, like, that hardcore distinction. It's like, hey, we didn't need a fog wall or anything, but I know this is a lane based off of the type of terrain that it is. I think that's a very, very good feedback that they could probably easily implement throughout. So, like, have terrains for different zones.
I just like,
yeah, go ahead.
The main thing I like here, one of my biggest complaints about the map before was that it was too busy. Like, it was sensory overload. Like, there was too much going on your screen every time you walked into a lane. This kind of solves the problem because it's really only 3 colors. You got the sort of, blackish gray of the path and the rocks. You've got the blue of the flowers and the green of the trees. Like, those are the only 3 colors. So I think that solves a lot of what I was talking about with the map being too busy, while still keeping the map very pretty.
Let's see that. Just fixing up the whole color scheme of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
How about this picture, though? Since we're speaking of towers, I already have feedback. Any
So barely noticeable.
Yeah, I want the tower Like it's fucked up that I noticed the tree before the tower.
Yeah.
The tree trunk. Like I want the tower to be the size of that fucking tree trunk, especially in this massive ass world. Make this tower be a fucking menace. That shit needs to be a dominant presence, you know? Like I step into the lane, oh shit, there's still a tower here. Because the towers hurt pretty well.
What's happening on the left-hand side here, though? It looks like rocks with blue lines on them. Like that's not the tower base. It's not that wide.
I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like that floating blue line that they added for the tower radius.
Right?
Even though it does seem kind of far.
Yep.
You feel me?
Like, that's the tower range indicator? It literally is that far? Okay. Jelly just confirmed his tower range indicator. Okay. I mean, that's kind of what I thought it was at first, but I mean, looking at the distance, I feel like that's a lot farther than I remember it being. But
am I the only one that would prefer a solid line? Like that whole patterned effect over those rocks, for example, would just make me more confused.
I
like if you're gonna go for that effect.
I don't know. Like I feel like you need something that's gonna literally solidify,
like a clear line, right?
Right. Well, I'm not even saying a clear line. I think,
or like a distinction between the tower and the rest of the map.
Well, what we talked about before is literally just that platform. We need this area. Bring up stone. We're walking on grass and dirt the whole time, and all of a sudden, bam! This platform. We're walking on a stone platform. Oh shit! This is a tower, guys. Like we're literally on a tower right now. We need that distinction, in my opinion. Like, and you can have it on it, and that stone works perfect in all three lanes. Right? You're walking on grass and dirt in void lane, and all of a sudden you start walking on stone. That's a tower. You're walking on fire lane. You're walking on lava. And fire lane, and all of a sudden you're walking on stone. That's a tower. You're walking on ice and snow. That's ice lane. All right. Well, now you're walking on stone. That's a tower. It would be a great little thing they could do to let you know this is what's going on.
And to add on top of that, when you get to the main base where you're fighting that giant dude, I forget the names. I'm sorry. What's the guy's name again? Like
it's an elder, I believe, right?
Elder.
An elder.
There you go.
I believe it's an elder.
The core. Yeah, the elder. So that entire area is stone.
Yeah.
You're at their core base because that entire area is stone. They easily could grab that and stretch it out. Just use that stone flat surface. Mangoose here.
Jelly, I'm gonna get a UG title here soon. Like I don't know when, you guys haven't given it me yet, but I'll get one.
Yo, we just found out, Mangoose, this is a tower zone. That blue line you see on the left is a tower range indicator. So this is all that you see here on the bottom and the right hand side is all inside the tower.
That's a huge tower zone, right?
It is a pretty goddamn big tower zone for a tiny little tower.
For a tiny little tower.
Little fucking tower that could.
Little tower that could. So while you were gone, grab another beer. I don't know why you didn't grab me one, but I guess I'll get my own. I was talking about how I agree with what we're talking about, like a tower base, right? And with all three lanes, it could work if we use a stone base, right? Because in void lane, you're walking down grass and dirt, right? And if you got to a stone base, you would know, hey, that's tower, And then in fire lane, you're walking down lava, and all of a sudden you get to a stone base. Hey, that's a tower. In ice lane, you're walking down snow and ice. Hey, you get to a stone base. Hey, that's a tower, And then you get all the way to the other person's elder, which is all stone. That you've gotten to your objectives. All your objectives are based with that stone.
I think a lot of our opinions too are generated from the fact that we're old Paragon hats, because like Smite doesn't really have that. League of Legends sure as hell doesn't have that. Dota doesn't have that.
You're right. Smite doesn't have it, but Smite's towers are very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm just saying. They don't have to use the stone platform. If you're going to keep your towers as is what I'm saying in this situation, right? We got this little tiny tower that could. If that's what you're going to keep, then you need to give tiny tower they could. It's a little more obvious. So it's something that, hey, this is a tower here, because they are very well hidden.
I'm just saying that I think that the way Paragon did it was better than those other games. But because most of the developers for Ethereal didn't play Paragon, they played other games. They think that this is acceptable for a third-person MOBA. It is not acceptable for a third-person MOBA.
But what other game has it like this though? Like MOBA-wise? Because
I just said it while you were gone. If you would have been here, you would have heard it.
Sorry.
I say that as if I didn't.
Right, you just got back. Yikes.
But like League of Legends, Smite, Dota, they all the area around the tower is pretty much the exact same as the rest of the lane. It's only like Paragon that had a difference between lane and tower radius.
Well, let me counter there, because in Smite and League, I'm not much of a Dota player, but in Smite and League, even though the terrain might be similar, there is a clear distinction between in tower and out of tower. You feel me?
Well, there is here too. There's a big ring.
But the ring is easily visible from a top down, and that's why in something like League, it might be more effective. But whenever you take that same exact aspect and put it into a 3D plane, the ring going over those rocks is a perfect example of why that ring does not work.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying you need the Paragon style complete change of the terrain around the tower. That's what works for a third-person MOBA.
Yeah, Jelly just said in League, there isn't in PvP only. In bots, you do see the ring. No, bro. In League and PvP, you can clearly see where the edge of the tower is. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, but yeah, man, I like the level of immersion, right? Like even like the little fire, what are they called? Tiki torches, basically. Those little tiki torches that are there and everything. It looks cool, but it's just something needs to be done to differentiate it even more. And that's not even going into the field of, hey, is a tower impactful? Can you notice when you're getting shot? Not just hearing it. Because I know that there was that little change where they just cranked up the volume and it's like, hey, I could hear the tower shot. Trust me, I could hear it. But there just needs to be more differentiation, because it's either make more differentiation to the terrain or make the tower itself stand out more.
No, I think it needs to be the terrain.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, I agree with the terrain.
You think terrain too?
Yep, I think because I do like the subtle, the change, because we don't want this to be the normal MOBA. We don't want this to be what we know as a MOBA. We want Ethereal is the ambitious devs that are going out to go and above the beyond. Right? This isn't a 5v5. It's a 6v6. This isn't, everything's different, with this game. They have the floating lanes, like it's not the same, right? So if that's what you want your towers to be, that little offset tucked up against the wall, that's fine. We just got to, just give us that different terrain, little, lift up, you walk up onto a rock, like, okay, literally just has to be like a slight incline. It doesn't have to be like 3 steps up or whatever. Just got to be like that little raised platform, So, but, so what
let's talk about this fire lane, because I love what I'm seeing here.
All right. When we tested it, when we went in and we were able to practice for the actual life event, I went in, Jelly was great, a great host, let me download it, brought me in on like a day before everything opened up, right? We're like literally stayed up late one night, and he walked me through the map. So I was able to he just showed me around the map, and I'm like walked in, all right, let's go ice lane, so we go to ice lane, which we'll show in a second. And I'm like looking, I'm like, it looks kind of like the lane we were just in Void Lane, he's just wait till we get farther in, you know. So, and the same thing with Fire Lane. Fire Lane was the same way. As soon as you go in, you got like that same earthy feel, like Void Lane. Here, it like this is
fucking looks amazing, bro.
This lane was caught fire, and this is what happened. Like,
all I'm saying is all this dry vegetation, that lamp there is a fire hazard. That's all I'm saying.
That tiki torch.
Yeah, that tiki torch. That's a fire hazard. But
This kind of correlates with some of their older ideas. Originally, when it was supposed to be a stacked layered map, like bot lane was going to be like a sandy desert. Like it was going to be different biomes for each lane. So this kind of keys into old ideas for Ethereal, but it's a new, fresh take. And I think it's going to be amazing for the game. It's going to really show people where they are. It's going to show viewers, especially where the person they're watching, where they are on the map.
100%. Yes. And it's more immersion too. That's you know, just the immersion side of it. You know, you're going into this like, okay, you're going to feel that you're in Fire Lane. You know,
it feels like you're in a different world just standing here.
Yeah.
It literally looks like a different game. Like that sort of distinction is fucking awesome.
When you run from Fire Lane over to the edge and look down at the Void Lane and you're in this desolate, burned out world and you look down on all that verdant green, oh, that's going to be amazing.
Right? It's like, yo, the grass is greener on the other side.
Hey, can you, that Mad Max Murdock skin though, could you imagine it in this lane right now?
Yeah, that looked dope. That looked dope. I'm not wrong. How do you feel about the towers standing out in this terrain?
It's
stand out even less.
Yeah, even less. So I can see there's two of them. There's the blue one and then the red one.
No, there's three, bro.
Oh,
one in the
blue one in front of me.
There's one in the front, very, very front, and then another blue after, and a red in the back.
Yeah, you're right. That blue. It said that blue one in the front hides really, really well. Yeah,
this really does just look like concept art. Do we know if this is concept art or if this is actually in-game picture that was taken?
This is an in-game picture.
Okay, because this looks dope.
Picture that was taken.
It looks dope. Skifter says there's 4. You can see a faint glow of the second red.
What? Get out of here, Skip.
All right, hold on.
Actually, in-game.
I'm zoomed in. Either
jelly.
Either there's a tree in front of it, or you're looking at some random magma in the background. There might be a tower here with a tree in front of it now that I look at it, but or that might be some ember that's just kind of in the wind. I don't know.
So, but either way, it just proves more our point even more that
the trees stand out more than the towers.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one. Wait, you want to say something about this before I go?
No, go ahead. No, I'm
this though.
So
this better be an area where I can run around and fall in the lava.
They said before in the Extra Life event and in the stress test that there's that lava pit by the Wyvern. You go into that will eventually, if you do go into that, you will take damage.
Yes,
so
did that plenty of times.
Right? No, you didn't, because it didn't give you damage, but.
I'm saying I fell into that pit plenty times.
Okay. I was like, no, there's no way, because they didn't give you damage. There's no way to damage. All right, yeah, I got you. Okay. So yes, I'm excited to see this little lava moat or whatever is going on right now. The lava coming down from the rock wall that we're looking at. Can we go back to the picture real quick? Because I did see something.
What's that?
Well, and it's in this picture as well, but I want to know if what we're looking at. So straight ahead and up to the top left, you can see there's green. There actually is greenery in the top left. And straight ahead, there's this huge monument structure behind us that's got green at the very top.
Wait a minute. Is that the entrance to the Wyverns? I see a half dragon with wings for hands right here in the trees.
Head?
You see that, bro? That's a dragon head. Those are eyes.
But Wyvern is on the other side now.
Call him Carlos. That's a dragon.
So the Wyvern's on the outside, not on the inside, not towards the void lane.
Well, who says that isn't the inside? You feel me? What if the outside of the lane is to our right currently, at the direction it's facing?
So yeah, what are the voids to our left?
Because we're looking at the structure in void lane right now, off in the distance.
Well, hold on. He said the statue is facing the Wyvern. Okay, so that's just a random statue that faces Wyvern. Wyvern is still on the right hand side.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe that's just a jungle camp up there.
All right, but to your left there, to the top left, all that greenery.
Oh my God, Slenderman confirmed. Y'all see him?
Slenderman confirmed.
Slenderman confirmed in the fucking game. Look at him standing right here.
What is the greenery though? You see what I'm saying? And then if you look, and then straight down the picture, there's that greenery and that structure on top of there. Like, is that greenery in that structure down there? Is that void lane?
Yeah, that's void.
So that's void lane.
That's definitely void lane. Yeah.
Okay, and that
I was gonna say it could be greenery from like the floating islands that they have in the background.
All right, now if you go to the other picture.
Oh yeah, Jelly just confirmed. Those are in the distance. Those are just the random floating islands, like the Pandora Islands I have floating.
Perfect, works for me. That's because I'm looking at this picture. I'm seeing the greenery here as well. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm trying to understand where we're at in this picture. That's why I wanted you a bit. Okay,
is that like a camp platform? You see how perfectly flat and like discolored that area is? Is that going to be a jungle camp?
Could be a troll camp.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why make all this awesome area that nobody's going to walk into for no reason, you know? There has to be like a camp or something back here.
Is that...
Bro, imagine getting thrown into the lava, Lamau.
You said troll camp. It already... Could that be... So that's like the portal trolls?
Yeah.
Like right on the outer edge. Okay.
Or the other... what's the other outer lane buff that they do there?
Red buff?
Yeah, red buff's right there too, right?
Or the chonker, as they call it?
The chonker. Yeah, I think it's the chonker. Yeah, it could be that one as well.
The chonker, which is the old Paragon red buff.
Yep.
I like it. Like, this honestly just looks so cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Like the lava waterfalls. I mean, it does. That's actually an oxymoron, right? Lava waterfall, like the lava falls.
I can't wait to throw a marina pool on top of that and watch what happens.
I can't wait for you to jump off the map for me and Mangus again.
Hey man, calculated risk. I saw what my carry was doing. I know what my actions needed to be. I'm like, oh, nope.
See if the magma pours off of fire lane down to void, and if there's like an ice flow that comes from ice lane down to void.
And then on void, it's a huge sauna because of the ice and water mixing.
They come together and make the water river.
Yeah. I think that would be great. No, you made that reference on For the Minions, I think it was.
Well, then I was just talking about water. I wasn't even thinking about.
Right. But there's having like the dragon sculptures, mouths, and like have them like drop water out. Yeah. But yeah, you could definitely do lava and an ice, have like an ice fall and a lava fall, and void lane, you got water. I think it'd be great.
So what does all this mean for optimization though? Is my question. Now, you feel me? We've already established that optimization is something that they're working, obviously they're going to continue working on, etc. But wait, first of all, are these changes going to be there for what are we calling it again? Early alpha, pre-alpha. Thank you. Are these changes going to be in there for pre-alpha?
Not at the beginning, but
I think so.
Not these. Yeah. So the item changes will be there for pre-alpha. The beginning of pre-alpha, the item art will be in the game. Okay. The lane changes those are going to be implemented after the start of pre-alpha. We don't have a date of when.
Okay. Got it. Into.
See, now look at this. Going into Ice Lane.
And seeing this.
This is Ice Lane. Like, you instantly know right away you're in Ice Lane. You don't know, like, wait, which way did I go? And then you got to go all the way to the middle of the lane to understand that you're in Ice Lane.
Oh my fucking God, there's a tower in this picture. It took me a good second to see it. There's a tower in that picture. I was like, yeah, bro, that looks dope. Wait, is there more than one?
I don't know. Yeah, back out. So
I'm fucking playing Where's Waldo? Oh my God.
I don't think this will really, like you were talking about earlier, I don't think this will really affect optimization all that much.
I think so.
If anything, it'll make optimization better because there's less of a color palette to deal with from lane to lane.
True. Blood says he sees 2 towers.
Yo, you're fucking joking, right? No way.
I'm just saying Blood says he sees that. I don't see it.
Oh, I see it.
Tell us where.
It, like, turn your head to the side. Cross your eyes just slightly.
Fuck off.
Right? I'm like, what? What the fuck is he talking about? Oh my God.
If you stare at it long enough, you see a sailboat.
If you squint long enough, you'll see Bugs Bunny, I swear.
Put it.
Oh my God.
Face. Count to 10.
No, but I love the vibes.
Yeah.
I'm still, you know what I wonder? Is this the type of game where it's like rendering? You know how there's the type of games that it renders what you see, like in a cone shape in front of you, right? Your field of view is what gets rendered. The stuff behind you isn't being rendered at the time being. So it kind of helps with performance. Or is this one of those things that the entire map is being rendered on your client, even the 99% that you're not seeing?
Well, no, I think it's what Mangoose said before. The whole reason they got rid of the stacking lanes is because it was rendering everything that was in your, we'll say, radius, right? So even behind you, it was getting rendered, but like it's like a certain radius around you. But everything in this, so all 3 lanes,
the cylinder,
right? And you were in, let's say you were on the top lane, but even bottom lane was getting rendered, and that was causing optimization issues. So I don't think it's a cone shape. I would still say it's more of a cylinder, your radius around you of what's being rendered. Mangus, I know you're getting ready to say something, but that's what I felt. I would say that it is, just by what you were saying before.
No, you said exactly what I was about to say.
Okay.
Get him the UGs.
I need the UG tag.
I can't, bro. Yeah, I love the look.
Ugly guy
regardless. Ugly guy bearded. All right, now this one. What do y'all think? Yes, there is a tower smacking you in the face.
It's still pretty fucking hidden, though.
But I had to look at that blue triangle at the top to notice for like hardcore. Be like, oh, yep, okay.
I gotta think the towers have enough energy that they're creating enough heat to keep them ice free.
I love it. I look at this lane though, and I wonder if I like start to run with my character and I automatically stop, am I gonna slide for another 20 feet because I'm on ice? Like,
that would actually be a super cool mechanic.
Brought that up.
That'd be a super cool mechanic.
We're not using Mario rules here. Ari asked them.
It's like I feel like I'm gonna play Dante, and I'm just gonna be like sliding across the map.
It would make for a cool Tokyo Drift highlight, yeah, but
yeah, right.
Where you can only side strafes to make sure you run into a wall just in case. Rip.
But yeah, no, it's the way the trees are holding the snow on them. We have like an ice glacier wall for the rocks. Like very. I looked at these pictures.
Is this the tower line indicator right here that I'm looking at?
Show me where you're looking.
I think that's a tower line indicator.
Could be.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? Because I see a little bit on the left side of the tree.
And if so, the color needs to change because that doesn't fit very well.
No, like the blue ring on the ice lane, no bueno.
Yeah. Something needs to change there. I mean, like, I don't know if maybe it's just like maybe colors need to change for sides. Because, like, obviously blue on ice and blue on fire are going to be the same side. But you need to know when you get to one side, like, you're going to need to know that difference. So maybe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
something like maybe purple.
Yeah, like if they steer away from blue and red in general, they could do like orange and purple, for example.
Just even orange and fire lane is not going to work.
Oh, you're right. Like not green. You could use green technically, right?
But it just depends on how well it works in void lane. Like you literally have to use like some crazy colors. Like purple is one that could definitely work, right?
Yellow
and fire lane might be tough.
Well, hold on. They easily could do. They easily could do white with a black outline, and there's your contrast for every lane. You feel me?
It says some of the assets haven't been adjusted for the new map quite yet. So, and what were you saying, Windu? Sorry.
No, you're good. And as far as some of the assets, I mean, that makes sense. It's all going to be a work in progress, right? But it definitely. Like a big thing for contrast, and we've all been through this. Whenever you grab a picture and you just put like a word on the screen and keep it in white font, it doesn't really stand out. You feel me? And regardless of what color the background is, as soon as you put a black border on that, bam, contrast pops. They easily could just make these white lines with a contrast. Like if it's a specific shape that they're applying, I can't imagine it would be that hard to put an outline on that shape.
I don't know.
My big concern is how this is going to interact with weather effects. Like,
yeah, because that is a huge thing with Ethereal.
If it's snowing, how are you supposed to know it's snowing when you're in ice lane? If it's a heat stroke or a heat wave, how are you supposed to know it's a heat wave when you're in fire lane?
If it's raining on fire lane, does that mean I'm going to see steam everywhere?
Owen, we have a plan for that. Well, what is the plan, Owen? If that's your real name.
If that's who you really are.
If that's your real. No, I love the immersion they added to this now. When I saw this as part of the Patreon like effect, like you were able to see this earlier, like I saw these lanes and I'm like, this is what they needed. So being able to see these again, like, and look at that. That literally is the entrance to either the enemy base or the enemy void or your void, however you want to look at it. But you got ice going all the way to it. Like,
yeah, we're being nitpicky as fuck, but these are amazing.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, well, I'll be real with you. The only thing we've nitpicked are these fucking towers. Besides the towers, we've loved everything, bro.
Yeah.
Especially the little tiki torch being brave and, still scolding fucking hot in the ice lane.
We've got the towers that could and the brave little tiki torch.
The tiki torch that went to Mars, right? But yeah, like it looks really, really good. I want to see this in game.
Yep.
Like, you know what I would think would be awesome, and they could do it for Patreon first and then eventually release it. Just grab probably the best polished looking character, make sure it's somebody with a beefy ass PC, and just get a very high quality recording at the highest resolution that you can of somebody just walking through each one of these lanes for like 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds ice, 5 seconds void, 5 second fire. I'm showing off what this world looks like. You want to find out more? Sign up for the newsletter, for example, or sign up for Patreon. You get me?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
That's a problem I have with both Ethereal and Overprime. Their demos that they have on YouTube are not high quality.
Right.
Not as high of quality as I've seen from either game. Like I've seen,
and that's
really
more of
high
a
quality
user
stuff.
error, right? Technically, what they choose to record at or bit rate and whatnot.
Right. Like I've seen, like my footage of Ethereal is much better than what I've seen. They're posted on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you're still using dial-up.
Exactly. And like it's the same with Overprime. All of their footage is taken from a stream, so it's like 1280 by 720 instead of 1920 by 1080.
I mean,
So
even then, with a lower bit rate at 1080, it's gonna look blocky, not as smooth as possible.
Yeah. So I think they're doing themselves a bit of a disservice with their what they have posted on their YouTubes, because the game looks much more beautiful than what you see on that in that footage.
It's almost like they need to hit up and contract a YouTuber that is very passionate about the game, that is able to record those high quality videos. Well, those high quality gameplay videos, because we already know Jelly makes those high quality videos too. But
I wouldn't call me a YouTuber though.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh, bearded. Always trying to put my spotlight.
I can't, bro. Blood says I use 1080p 60 and a bit rate of 8,000. So that's high quality for Twitch. But for proper 1080p, you literally got to be probably anywhere from like 15 to 25,000 bit rate to like get that really good juice out of it and be like, yo, this shit looks fucking mint.
Get that good.
That man juice.
Yeah, and that's something that just Twitch won't allow. YouTube will allow it. Like YouTube streaming, for example. But hashtag somebody in this conversation needs to start YouTube streaming at higher quality. Shall not be named. And no, I'm not talking about you again, Bearded.
I was
You talking about bearded?
I'm like, why the fuck would I do that?
Oh my god.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, bro. If this picture is an accurate representation of how the game looks, the next moment that they show this to the world cannot be a lower res, lower bit rate video. Like, they need that shit to look as polished as possible.
Yeah. No, because I mean, like before I got asked, or we all got asked to be a part of the Extra Life event, right? The last thing I saw was a video they posted, and it was a video that we've talked about Mangoose, and Mangoose was talking about how it literally was that same conversation we just had was what we're talking about. And I watched it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we were a lot farther for Ethereal than I thought we were. I'm like, okay, that's
wait, say that again.
Like the video they posted a video of them like
you talking about before but before they did their Kickstarter and shit, they were posting videos, or during their Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Might have been during their Kickstarter.
Okay,
might have been during their Kickstarter. I just remember Leah walking, or somebody walking, and the wings just did not the way they walk. I know the video didn't look the greatest.
Yeah,
I'm just watching this. I'm like, well, they got a little bit of ways to go than I thought they would have had, because it's been so quiet. And then here's more announcements. So definitely some work to do, but like getting more into this and playing the game, they're farther ahead than what I thought I saw from the video. And that's I'm agreeing with what you guys are saying. Putting a good video out there doesn't put a bad look out there, I guess. I don't know how I want to say that. If you could put a higher quality, higher res, a better looking video is better for you, because other people will look at it and be like, okay, this game's not up to par yet.
So you're telling them not to sandbag with shit quality videos.
Right.
Got it.
It's like you said, it's a disservice. Like, they're really shooting themselves in the foot in a day and age where a company, if they just take some time and put the proper settings, when they can record some high fidelity, high quality, high frame rate footage, why would you ever publish anything less?
Well, I thought I was the problem. Like when I was looking at some of the videos they put out, I thought, okay, there's something wrong with my monitor, or like, okay, this is just what the game looks like. And then I got in game, and like once I got my settings adjusted, I'm like, that's not what the game looks like. The game looks way better than that. It's the same with Overprime. Like you look at Overprime's videos and you're like, I don't know about that.
No, 100% agree.
Like I've played Overprime in the past and it looks better than the videos they put out recently. And I know that what they've got is way better than what they've posted on their YouTube.
No, and that's what I'm saying though. Like I would like, if it wasn't for me getting invited to the actual life event, I would be not even thinking about Ethereal at this time.
Really?
Like, okay.
Like that?
Really?
Like it affected you that much?
No, it's just not that it didn't affect. It's not that it affected me that much. It's that I wasn't following. I remember Ethereal being a thing when they were doing the 3-lane stat on top of each other, right? And they kind of making their announcements, right? And then I remember them making announcements that they're going away from that because it wasn't working. And then after that, I don't remember the thing until this video that we're talking about right now, right? So we're talking about this video. I watched that video. I'm like, okay, they're still quite a ways away. I think it's their lore video is the video I'm talking about, the video that explains their lore. And so you watch that video and I'm like, okay, that's like, I'm like looking at that. I'm like, they're still quite a ways away. So I would have just waited until I got something that told me they were closer, or, you know, hey, here's news. Hey, alpha's open or whatever. I would have waited for that. But because getting into Extra Life and seeing that they're not, as far as that video made them, the perception of that video was not that far behind, you know, that's where I was like, okay, this is different.
I'm really curious to see how they're even going to handle marketing. Because here's the thing, even though they're not necessarily at the stage to hardcore market, Ethereal has been marketing ever since they decided to start up for their Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Ever so lightly, whether it be promoting an event that they're doing, whether it be promoting their Patreon that they're doing, showing some video footage of their game, etc. They've been slowly taking jabs at it. I'm curious to see how not only our feedback, but the feedback that they've gotten from those past videos, how is that going to affect how they do things moving forward? Because we easily could sit here and talk all day. It doesn't mean that they're going to listen to us. You know what I mean?
Well,
they'll listen. I have a UG tag.
Stupid, bro. Get me out. He said,
well, I mean,
I don't know if you realize I'm official.
I've said this a million times. Once they added Jelly Knees to their marketing team, they improved 1,000 fucking %. Yep. Jelly Knees looks at all of these other games that are out there, sees what they did with marketing that was and they see what they did with marketing that was extremely successful. Like he said in For the Minions, he's taking notes on what Overprime is doing. Overprime's marketing campaign is insane. Like really great ideas. They're probably going to take that and run with it. They're looking at Fault and seeing how Fault announced patch 14 and then didn't release it for fucking ever. He's looking at that saying, okay, we definitely need to make sure that our patches are 100% good to go before we even mention them. So I think their marketing is locked in. I think they're pretty solid.
No,
on a side note,
they're not doing anything crazy. They're doing things that more to kind of keep themselves relevant. It just enough to like don't forget about us. We're here.
I just wanted to say I found your Unicron inspiration in Ethereal.
Oh, you see, hey, Unicron.
That's a quadricron.
No, that's just two Unicrons disagreeing.
Disagreeing. What? Okay.
I don't know, bro. Anyway, why can't a tower be in the middle of this?
Because that is definitely a platform for either a chunker.
I know, like a boss or something. I know. But could you imagine Ethereal decides to veer away from the straight line lane and it's almost like zigzags. Like the jungle is in the middle of the lane, and then you have these towers on the sides that you have to get to. And let's just say we took one tower, the next tower we have to diagonally cross this jungle to get to the other one.
Yeah.
Just throwing a thought out there.
Right. That's got to be a portal troll, like that little section right there. I think that's got to be a portal troll spot.
But that would look nice around the tower.
Dude, a tower in the middle of this? Like, yo, you got to step up there to even shoot the tower. But once you step up there, you're committed. Everybody from the surrounding vicinity can see your ass standing on that fucking pedestal. That would be dope.
The trees encroach upon it. It would still look really good.
Because it's a different feature in the map. It doesn't necessarily fully blend with the surroundings. That looks dope as shit. I don't know why, but earlier I went through these pictures, completely missed that first one. Like, oops. You know what I just realized? There's a big difference in lava waterfalls or lava fall between these two. Maybe.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, lava is hardened, magma is liquid.
Right. So so the magma falls. I mean, like, so the brighter is just the hotter. That's really what that comes down to. It's just like those are getting ready to become lava. That's definitely that's a solid magma for a while.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like splashing everywhere and shit.
A solid magma is like an oxymoron, though.
A bit.
I'll give you that. I can't even argue. Solid magma. That's like saying, is water wet? I feel that. I feel that. That one just hurt. But yeah, like I'll be honest, like the differentiation between these planes, right? These worlds, so to speak, because that's what it feels like, a different world, right?
Yeah.
Elevates the immersion of the game, and I applaud them for it. Tenfold. Like that, it looks dope.
To me,
what's that?
Kind of reminds me of Mortal Kombat and the different realms they have.
I can see that.
You know, you got your Sub-Zero realm, you got your Scorpion realm, you know,
and then fucking Earth realm in the middle, rip.
And then your Earth realm, yeah, right. But I mean, like, it literally kind of gives you that feel to it.
So, Mortal Kombat IP confirmed? Question mark?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jelly. Where's the Mortal Kombat IP?
Let's get some Mortal Kombat skins.
Let's get
Kombat.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
I can't, bro.
You ever see that movie, The Last Unicron?
I hate him. Anyway, I don't know, man. Like, I'm really digging the immersion. Like, everything that we've seen from them, the item art, the immersion. Dude, I can't get past this coin. That's a sexy looking art piece.
I mean, that coin's nice, but that fucking bloody claw, dude.
See, I would like it more if it wasn't for the red swirls coming out of that jewel. For those red swirls literally cover like a good 20% of the actual gauntlet looking thing.
I think they look good.
I didn't even know there was a red jewel in that thing. I'm looking at the fucking claws. I'm literally Wolverine, 3 claws. That is me. Like, let's go.
The level of detail on these is kind of crazy. It almost sucks that this is literally going to get reduced to a
3 claws.
like a 15 pixel wide image on the screen.
Yeah, you still see it in the game though, and it looks fucking good. Like, nobody has complained about the UI for Ethereal. Everybody is like in agreement. That's a badass UI. And item art is part of UI as far as I'm concerned.
The one thing, and let me ask you guys this quick question. I know we're getting ready to end it here soon, but like, about the UI. Now we bring it up. Like there's like no, all the UIs I remember with Paragon and Fault and even Genesis, you have both teams up in the, top left, top right, right? Like top left, your team, top right, the opposing team. Like you don't have that. Am I wrong? Like I don't remember a opposing team being there. Maybe if they're dead, you might get a respawn timer for them.
So I asked
them at all.
I asked about it live, like while playing with them and everything, and the response I got was you don't need to see the enemy health bars on your UI. You only need to see the enemies when they're dead. Like when the kill counter, if they're dead, they show up on the corner. But besides that, health bar, picture, mana, everything is non-existent, and it's intentional. If you want to see their health bar, have line of sight, basically.
Well, it's not the opposing team shows up when they're dead, right? And that's what I remember it being. Okay, but it's not that
what I just said.
Health bar shows up there. No, I'm not worried about the health bar. I'm worried about like team comp. I want to be able to look up there and see team comp. Like, okay, this is who they got here. This is, like there's times that you just kind of like I look at that for like, okay, they have CC. I need to work on crowd control. What am I going to do with this? Like CC reduction or something. I don't know.
That's a good point for counter building, because when you're counter building, you'll look at the enemy team comp and be like, do they have a lot of CC? Or are they all energy power based, or are they physical power based? Like just like a quick little glance. Now, can you go into the scoreboard and see the enemy team, their names and the characters and stuff?
Team comp, items, scores, etc. Skifter says.
Okay, so you can literally just pop up the scoreboard. I don't necessarily disagree with it. It might not be something that we're used to, but I don't necessarily disagree with it because that information is still accessible to you. It's not like they're cutting it off. It's just decluttering the screen from like, you feel me? Like whenever you're in a MOBA and you got the 5 players being displayed, I never look at those 5 players unless I have like a global ult or something like that. Like I'm not looking, and it's like, oh, yep, enemy Garen damn sure is about to be dead. Nope, guess he lives. He's not on my lane. Whatever. Like, you feel me? Like I'm not like whatever. Like YOLO. So I could totally see it, but as long as that information is available, if I can at least open up the scoreboard, be able to counter build and be like, hey, I need physical armor, I need energy armor, whatever the hell, I need trauma to like prevent anti-heal and such, or to apply anti-heal, like little shit like that. Like as long as I have that opportunity, it's fine. You feel me? The question would be, how smoothly does it come up? Like it'd be cool if they incorporated, like whenever you're pulling up your UI, let's say you're pulling up your item shop, and then like it tells you like now the enemy character pictures, whatever, populate in a corner. Because I don't want to have to be like, all right, item shop. Fuck, what do I build? Exit item shop, scoreboard. Okay. All right, item shop. All right, I'm going to go for this one. Damn, should I go physical armor and power, or should I go physical armor and health? Hold on. Exit item shop. Scoreboard. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be the power one. Okay. Go back. Item shop. Physical. You feel me? Like having to open up a separate window just to look at that information. Where most UIs, if I open up my item shop, I can still see the enemy players somewhere on the screen. Like if they can at least make it to where when your item shop is open, that information is visible. And as soon as you close your item shop, like I completely understand. In game, that information's fucking irrelevant half the time. You're just looking for death timers, basically. But there is an ease of access in there as far as, specifically the higher level of play to be able to counter build and such, to just make it easier for players to just play the game instead of having to just be back forward. True. Now, of course, the optimal way would be to just have it on and let people toggle it off. That'd be the optimal, hardest work for them, quite frankly, but easiest for the community. If people don't want to see those, toggle. If people want to see those, they're on it automatically. You feel me? Or they could have it vice versa. I don't know. However they decide to do it. Definitely one of those things that I think should be definitely considered. Yeah, man. So let's do this, dude. I'll be real. On this half, I haven't even been paying attention to time. I literally I have no idea how, but on my recording software, I actually don't have a timer anymore, a clock, anything. So rip. So let me ask Mangoose. Let's do Mangoose Bearded. Just like our last little tidbits, piece of advice for the community. Anybody interested in Ethereal and such, based off of what we've seen today, the items, the new map, revamps, so to speak, and such. What do y'all have to say to people?
I'm going to say the same thing I said last time. Like, the first time you played Paragon, that feeling you got, that newness, that just amazing, holy shit, what is this? You're going to get that when you play Ethereal. And just these updates are just going to make that even more profound. So if you liked how you felt when you first played Paragon, then you're going to love how you feel when you first play Ethereal.
No, I agree with what Mangus is saying, and if you just said, okay, I agree with what Mangus just said, then go to the Patreon, pay the $20 to join, to be able to get the pre-alpha key, because pre-alpha is coming up here next month sometime, as the way it planned. It's not guaranteed. All right, as predicted so far, that's where we're at, and pre-alpha is coming up. Join it, get the pre-alpha key, and play the game and enjoy it with us. Like, it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. These images we got going on here, that immersion, I can't wait to be able to be a part of that immersion. And now, again, that's not with right when pre-alpha drops. They said that's going to be after, but we don't know what time after, but it's going to be after eventually. But I can't wait. And I'm going to build ADC with the fucking bloody claws, because I'm the bearded Wolverine.
I can't with you, bro. I can't with you. He's just excited. He's like, yo, that's for me. Yeah, I'm just going to rock 6 of those. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I can't with it. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just going to say they are showing quality in good areas, like the item art, these pictures and shit. Like, they're showing a different level that I think is going to be needed for them to be acknowledged as its own entity and acknowledged as a next gen game, right? Regardless of being an indie company or AAA or whatnot. I would just say they just have to make sure, UG, that you guys match all of the content that you output to these fucking pictures. All of the content you output, it needs to be at the level of these pictures. Because especially as an uphill battle as this game has, you want to make sure that every step that you take is one step forward, not one forward, two steps back sort of scenario. But I'll give them kudos. Anybody interested, quite frankly, I definitely say keep following up on them. I'm excited when this game goes into pre-alpha. I think. I'm excited for when this game goes into pre-alpha, but I'm most excited to see how the community is going to adapt to what Ethereal is and can be. Because this is still ever evolving, and there's still quite a bit that is in the works that people don't see, right? So I'm excited. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We appreciate everybody stopping by, whether it was live or whether it was on YouTube after the fact. And unless you guys got anything else you want to say, we could hit that sayonara, that peace.
I just want to say that I'm going to go eat some crawn on the cob and watch a little bit of prawn.
I can't with him, bro. I can't with him. Go look up an episode that has Unicron in it and let me know how you feel after the fact.